Before we get started in this awesome Finnish film that's in theaters right now, please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button right at the bottom. Sisu! Sisu! This film is balls to the wall action. This film takes place in the end of World War II. The Nazis are losing. They know that they're losing.
They're like, we're burning down every town we see. We're killing every man we come across just so we can get an edge in the war, even though they are losing. And our main character's his last name was Korpi, I believe.
Korpi.
He's a mysterious man. We know very little about him, except that he's got a horse, he's got a dog, and he's a prospector. That's it. We don't know nothing else. And once he stumbles upon that gold, he's like, great, let's go cash this money in so I can, live in the lap of luxury, I guess. I'm not sure what he's doing. One of the reasons why we don't know what he's doing is because he doesn't really say anything.
That's amazing.
This man is silent the entire film. We don't really know what his motivations are. Now, some of the Nazis kind of guess what they are because he's got a background that we learn about later, but we never actually hear any of this from his mouth. But he is a former soldier. The Finnish army, they just could not control this man. They're like, yo, he went on a killing spree against the Russians. So you know what? Let's just let him do his thing.
He killed 300 men. He killed Leonidas and his homies.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And Finland has a name for him, the Ghost of Finland. The reason why they call him that because he just won't die. They think that he's invulnerable, but
immortal.
And they immortal, and they give him the name of Sisu because they know that he's not immortal. He just won't give up.
Right. And what's his name, Sisu? I thought Sisu just described. I don't think they gave him the name of Sisu. I think Sisu just described his state of mind.
Yeah, that's what
never
it is.
giving
state
up.
of mind. Yeah, never giving up. Never give up. Never surrender. Galaxy Quest. Love that film.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Oh, shut up.
This movie is shot beautifully. It's shot a lot like an American Western. So we see him, exactly. He's alone with his horse and his dogs. Oftentimes he's in silhouette with these beautiful sunsets and sunrises in the desert or in the ruins of Finland. It is really, really, really pretty. And this is an interesting juxtaposition between the type of action that we get. Because this is really like a Looney Tunes movie, but a little bit more grounded.
It was like a Western film meets Looney Tunes meets Rambo.
Yeah, exactly. Like Rambo. I agree. The first kill, he takes a knife and he like shoves it through this guy's skull and it pokes out the other side.
Like an arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Like an arrow. Now, a skull is really hard. Like it's literally some of the thickest bone in your body. So I'm like, how did the knife get through his head? And I'm like, oh, this is like a little cartoony. And once I understood that, the movie fell into place. This is a hyper violent, hyper energetic, hyper masculine movie. There are some points here where a group of women take over for a second. So it's not completely like, misogynistic type thing, but it's so violent, it just flips over the top. I think one of the greatest things about Marvel shit in the bed right now is that other people have come up with other ideas. And what's funny, the new ideas they have, it's the old idea that you just make a movie for cheap and you just reap in the money. You make a good movie with a low budget and you just take in all the, I love that. That is so exciting. And that's exactly what this movie is. How much did this movie take to make?
$6 million.
Crazy. Robert Downey Jr. took home way more than $6 million himself. You know what I'm saying? in Endgame. So this whole movie probably cost less than Robert Downey Jr.'s salary. I think this will still be considered a mid-budget film, but it's very, very cheap. But it doesn't feel cheap. It's shot beautifully.
The prospector that is silent is moving. He's on the run. He's moving. This captain over there in the Nazis, he's like going after him, retrieve that gold, because that's basically what they want. He wants that to retire.
But the Nazis are losing and they think the war can help them buy their freedom after the Nazi Empire falls.
Right. So they want the gold. He crosses a river and he just like gets in the water to basically try to get away from them. And it's a beautiful shot, which was clearly shot in a pool, but it looks incredible the way that they do it. Like they're suspended in space. He's down there. They don't know where he is. And he's slitting their throat to get the air out of their lungs.
he's breathing the air that comes out of their throat when he slits their throat.
I was like, badass.
So at this point, like I said, the Looney Tunes thing is in full blast. So you just kind of understand that. Okay, got it. And actually, literally the scene before he was breathing in other people's air from their lungs, he literally lit himself on fire. So like this was the least absurd thing to happen within that little 10-minute span. When the Nazis learn who he is, they're like, they call him a ghost. They call him immortal. And at that point, I did not realize how much they were really going to prove to you that this man is immortal. He has been blown. He got blown up. He got set on fire. He got shot in his leg, shot in his side. He was hung from a signpost for like overnight. He was in a plane crash. Like it's crazy the things he survives. It is right on the cusp of being like hilarious, the kind of things he can survive.
It's on the cuffs, but I'll take all that stuff that you said before the plane and be like,
yeah, you're like, maybe.
That's maybe. But the plane is going down because the pilot's dead. No parachutes in sight. This man takes a cargo belt that holds cargo together.
He just like holds on real tight.
And then the plane, okay, but now in their mind, the filmmakers, to make it believable to the crowd, the plane crashes in like a marsh,
right.
like a marshland, like a swamp. Think of it like a swamp. And it's like huge boom, and he comes out looking like tar and everything.
Yeah, him being hung overnight started to pull me out of the movie a little bit. I was like, come on, dog. But then when he survives the plane crash, I'm like, thank God this movie's over at this point, because at that point, I'm like, what else? He can't. There's nothing else that can happen in the movie where I would fear for him. And I think this might be an issue if they want to move forward and make this like a series, because how could you? If the man survives a plane crash, what can't he survive becomes the new question.
This man read the Book of the Dead, and he's a he's a deadite.
That's the only explanation.
You gotta blow him into pieces, man. That's all.
That's right. You gotta dismember this man because he will not die.
Groovy.
And when he got hung, he's like, I'll take the bullet hole that I suffered from in the last scene and I'll shove a nail in there and just like hang myself half by my neck, half on my bullet hole. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? And then when he gets unhung, he's like, oh, I'm so injured. I'll pour a little gasoline in that motherfucker. I'm like, gasoline? He put some gasoline and some dirt and he's ready to go. A little dirt, a little gasoline, I'll take you a long way.
Don't need no medical office.
Yeah, exactly. Now, all the stuff we're talking about, though, is super surface level. There is another level to this movie. So this movie is very, very Finnish. Very Finnish. This movie's very proud of its Finland origins. Usually with American movies, you see a lot of like hyper-American movies. But this is like a hyper Finland movie, a hyper Finnish movie with Korpi trying to protect the gold. This is kind of like the Finnish people protecting their own resources. This is his gold, god damn it. It's his not just because he did the work, right, and the Nazis didn't, but it's his because he found it on Finnish land, and he is a Finnish man, and so this is his. It rightfully belongs to him, just like the country rightfully belongs to him, regardless of what the Nazis say. So I like that this movie had this like colonial thing going on, and it was like all for Finland, F the Nazis type thing. Actually, I kind of felt myself being proud. And I'm like, I'm not even finished, but I kind of felt myself being proud.
This film was filmed like a spaghetti western, and it had title cards like Quentin Tarantino. And so it'll be like Act 1 this, Act 2 this. I thought it was really clever.
I thought the title cards are kind of odd because there were so many of them. I'm like, how many chapters does this movie have? Like, they're like,
that is true, because
they're like
you would
Act
think
45. I'm like, what? It had like 1,000 chapters. I'm like, what is this? So silly.
It just looked cool.
Yeah, and the first title card was pristine and gold, like the gold he found, and the last one was all crumbly and effed up, and
because he went through it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel good about seeing this film. I know when I recommended this film to you, you was like, I never heard of that. I like that Finland is getting shine. It's a very interesting film to see, shot very well for the the amount of money that was put into it, I have to give this film B.
B. That's exactly what I'm gonna give it. A B. This movie is not particularly unique. You know what I mean? It, like you said, this is just another old man fights mean guys movie. You know, except this time it's set in 1944, and in Finland. But it's not necessarily the concept that makes this movie a winner. It's the execution. I think the movie is beautiful. I think the gore is so outlandish and so crazy. And the second you think, well, they can't get crazier than that, they go crazier. So there's lots of creativity. I don't think anybody, even if you're not someone who really likes action movies, I can't imagine someone being bored in this film. Oh, no. This movie gives you a lot to chew on. It gives you a story to chew on. It gives you lots of great visuals. And it has really good music. And the dog survives, just like they said in the trailer. So I think, like you said, this is a very digestible movie, and it's a very easy movie to watch.
And women empowerment.
Yep, briefly. These Finnish women who, I assume they were just getting raped by the Nazis, break free, and they get their revenge. So, yep, there's a little bit of that. But, I can't imagine anybody would call a movie where women get raped at all empowerment, but hey, that's my opinion.
Would you recommend this film for people to see?
I would recommend it. I think it's an easy movie to recommend. It's nice and short, it's exciting, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think this is a good film. If they make a second film, they'll probably have to tone down a lot of the unbelievableness in this.
Strangely enough, the only way I could see them moving forward with this is a prequel, because a prequel, we know he'll survive, right? Which is my issue with prequels anyway.
That is your issue, yeah.
But moving forward, we also know he'll survive literally anything after this. So I feel like it's almost kind of a moot point that he'll survive.
More importantly, do you recommend this film? Please get in the comments and let us know what you thought of Sisu.
Sisu!
We might have a problem.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate you. So the people who are new to us, please join the family. Get down there and hit that subscribe button right at the bottom. And if you did like our rating and review for this film, please hit that thumbs up. Or you can hit that thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion. Just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. See you in another video. Peace.
Now say Sisu one more time.
Sisu!